Hi and welcome to Success Theory. I wanted to shoot this really quick video to let you know that I will be continuing to upload on this channel very soon. Wanted to pop in this quick video around a module that I did for my guide Tactical Stoicism. It's about Marcus Aurelius, it's about 5 quotes, and it's about what he taught me about being a better person. The reason why I haven't been uploading on here as regularly as I used to be is because I'm doing quite well on Twitter currently. I've got nearly 10,000 followers as this video is being shot, and it's taking up a lot of my time. So if you want to check me out on Twitter, I'll put the link in the description below. Also, I'm going to put a link to my guide Tactical Stoicism down there. You can enjoy this free module. It's part of my Stoic Success Theory series that I have here on my channel. And as I said, I will be getting back to doing more regularly updated videos and ideas around success theory, around overcoming struggle, around getting better. Thanks very much for being a subscriber, and we will see you again in the next few episodes. Make it a good one. Welcome to this updated module of Tactical Stoicism. This module is going to be around what Marcus Aurelius can teach us about being a good person. Obviously, Marcus Aurelius is one of the key Stoic masters, one of the big three, so to speak. But I really feel like he was the one of the Stoic masters that actually spoke to me directly through reading Meditations, his book, about how to actually be a better man or a better person. So in this module, I will be discussing quotes where I really think Marcus Aurelius set out solid points on how to be a better person. The first quote we're going to discuss, I think, is one of his most famous quotes. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Marcus Aurelius, obviously. So Marcus Aurelius saying here that we shouldn't argue about the fine points of what a good person should be. We should just go about our day-to-day business and be one. It's very, very straightforward. You can't really get anything more out of it or anything less out of it. It's right in front of your face. Just be a good person. Do the right thing. A big part of Tactical Stoicism, if you've read the guide and you've heard or watched some of my other updates, is I really do talk about this idea about doing the right thing as my key takeaway from Stoicism. You do the right thing to the best of your skills, knowledge and ability at any time. And that's what Marcus is really saying to me here about being a good person. Waste no more time discussing what a good person is or how a good person should be. Just be one. Fantastic advice from the Emperor King, or the Philosopher King. The next quote I'm going to discuss is, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This is a great idea that Marcus is discussing. As a person in the world, you may be hurt by somebody, you may be attacked by somebody, you may be called names, whatever that may be. Someone may be mean to you at work, someone may on purpose sabotage you. Whatever that happens to be, Marcus is saying to you here directly, the best thing you can do is not to then sabotage that person back, attack that person back, make fun of that person back. The best thing you can do is not to be like that person, is to carry on as normal and to be a better person and do the right thing to your best of skills, knowledge and ability, as I said. So the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Straightforward, to the point. Don't get sucked into a tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth battle with somebody. Rise above it, be a better person, move on. Again, Marcus Aurelius is really telling us one of the key points about how to be a good person. The third quote that I'm going to discuss here is, "If it's not right, do not do it. If it's not true, do not say it," by Marcus Aurelius. Now, this one really does fit in line with my whole philosophy about doing the right thing. In fact, shocker, spoiler alert, this is actually the quote where I drew my main idea from. When I read this is the quote that really stuck with me. There are a couple of Seneca and Epictetus quotes that really stick out for me, but this is the Marcus Aurelius one that does really fit with my idea of what Stoicism is. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Imagine for a second that we lived in a world where that was just how people acted. People did the right thing. They knew to do the right thing, and they didn't do the bad thing. People spoke the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if it wasn't true, they didn't say it. Now, obviously, we don't live in a world like that. That's a utopian world that can never exist through the humankind. We just don't act like that. People tell little white lies all the time. People do the wrong thing in the idea that it is the right thing. So we're not always doing the best that we possibly can because of other factors. We do get muddled up from time to time. But this quote is a shining light for us. In general, the Stoics teach us to do the right thing. If it's not right, do not do it. If it's not true, do not say it. Obviously, Marcus Aurelius was involved in a lot of shadow games, a lot of politics, a lot of interactions throughout the Senate. He would have been tested to the limit about this philosophy. And we've got to remember that Meditations was written for him, to him. He was reminding himself to do this. This wasn't what he lived by every day. He wasn't a Jedi Knight. He wasn't a monk, so to speak. He was the Emperor of Rome. He was obviously in a lot of tough conversations, and he was reminding himself, writing in his journal, that if it's not right, do not do it. If it's not true, do not say it. This next quote from Marcus Aurelius that I want to discuss really touches on one of the key aspects of Stoicism and why a lot of people end up getting into Stoicism, and that is dealing with anger issues. That is dealing with what they can control. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? We've all heard that story about the person who might have got hit by somebody else while driving the car, and then they get out of the car and then they hit that person. And the person who got out of the car and did the road rage ends up in the bigger trouble, ends up in the bigger disaster, ends up in a bigger incident. They end up actually having to go to court, having a grievous bodily harm, charge against them, getting charged by the police, having to hire lawyers, doing stuff. Well, the other person who caused the car accident ends up being the victim, even though they might have been a terrible driver, even though they caused that situation. The consequences of that person's anger created a larger event, and this happens all the time with anger. Now, I've gone quite extreme with my example there, but anytime that I lose my temper, and it still happens to this day. I mean, I'm not going to hide behind it. But I know that if I lose my temper and I upset somebody close to me with a sharp word or with a flash of anger, I then have a second incident that I need to go back and apologize for, because you have the moment, you lose your temper, you create a situation, somebody else gets upset, and then later down the line, you need to come back in and deal with that upset part. So you're hurting yourself twice when you get angry. And that is what Marcus Aurelius is talking about here. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? Yeah, somebody sent you an email you didn't like. Your computer stopped working and you're in the middle of writing a long blog post. You get a stupid text message off somebody that angers you. Whatever it is, your mind makes that situation more angry than it has to be. You're the one who loses the temper. That the computer breaking down, the message on the internet, the message to your phone, that didn't cause anger. You caused the anger. It's how you saw that message and the consequences of your anger. You've seen the videos online talking about stupid things. The guy playing FIFA gets beaten by his buddy and then throws the controller and smashes the TV. There you go, there's $1,000 mistake right there, all because he couldn't take getting beaten on FIFA. We've all seen those videos. We've seen the consequences of anger, and that's where Stoicism really has helped me, and it's helped a lot of people, is actually understanding the second, third, fourth, and fifth consequences of a bad-tempered moment. And people can remember you as an angry person, and that sticks with them. Oh yeah, that guy, he's angry. You might have only got angry once around them, but they'll always remember that moment. And the last quote we're going to discuss today from Marcus Aurelius that really helped me become a better person, and hopefully can help you as well become a better person, is this gem. If any man despises me, that is his problem. My only concern is not doing or saying anything deserving of contempt. Marcus Aurelius. Now, the first half of this quote, very, 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 very true. If somebody else is upset at you,
because something that you did, and what you did was okay, like 90-80% plus of the general population think it's okay what you did, that's their problem. That is their problem. They can get all upset about it. But in today's modern society, something that I've come across, and something that the second part of this quote really touches on, is not saying anything deserving of contempt. Now, you might be thinking, I don't care, I'm going to keep saying what I want to say, and that's fine. But what Marcus Aurelius is trying to teach, or what I think he's trying to teach me here, is that if you find out something is contemptuous, or if you find something out is controversial, let's use controversial as a word here, or it touches a nerve, or it triggers a certain section of the community, a large section, not just 5% or 1% or some random one person out there. So if you do find out something is contemptuous or controversial, and you keep repeatedly using it over and over and over again, that becomes your problem, because you've been told why it's hurtful or it's triggering. Marcus Aurelius is really showing us with these 5 quotes different aspects of how to be a good person, different aspects of what we should say, what we should do, how we should control ourselves, why we should think about the second, third, and fourth, fifth consequences of our anger, why we should not really worry about what other people think of us, but at the same time not say things on purpose that we know are going to piss people off. And that's a big part of Stoicism, doing the right thing. Be a good guy. Say the right thing. Don't purposely piss people off. Don't lose your temper and get into random stupid fights with people and cause those second, third consequences. Create other events that you now have to deal with your mental energy, and you have to deal with online for a while because you decided to be a bit blunt with somebody. And that's where Marcus Aurelius really is, for me, the one off the Stoics that really taught me how to be a good person. Yes, Seneca, Epictetus, and the others do have some fantastic quotes, but Marcus Aurelius directly with these 5 quotes spoke to me about how to be a better man, how to be a better person. And that is where I'm going to wrap up this extra module from Tactical Stoicism, what Marcus Aurelius taught me about being a good person. These are all my own opinions from reading Stoicism. Thank you very much for listening to this updated module. This was actually a module that I did especially for reaching 9k followers on Twitter. I will continue to release these modules. I've got one planned for 10k, and I've got a few ideas planned for maybe 12 and 15k as we grow on Twitter. Thank you very much, and I appreciate anybody who's listened to this far on this module. Make it a good one.